let us sing verses 1 and 2, and then we will sing verses 3 and 4 after. Oh, fill me with thy presence, God, that love may shine through me, to quicken that same presence, God, in all whose eyes can see. Oh, fill me with thy presence, God, that wisdom may be mine, to share thy light with all who need, to let their own light shine.
If it's comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Just become aware of your breath for a moment. Pause for just a moment and bring your full awareness within to that place in consciousness where there is only light, where there is wisdom, where there is power, where there is an understanding that far exceeds anything here in the manifest playground of planet Earth. Just pause for a moment and be aware of the protection that is ours. That protection that is ours in consciousness. That protection that is the presence and is the power of the One. The protection of a cosmic force that is so incredible and so wise and so wonderful that it knew that you needed to be here now. An individualized expression of the presence and the power. An individualized expression that can tap into the wisdom and the understanding, that can rest in the will and the zeal of life and love. And no matter the appearances of the world, and certainly no matter of the judgments that we make about what appears to be, we are protected in consciousness. We can rest in the truth that we are one with the One, this incredible power. And here in this place, we are protected. We are protected in the stillness and in the silence. So let's pause for a moment now and rest in that silence, in that stillness, and just know I am safe. Where we can know I am love in the stillness. I find my protection in the presence and power of God. I find my protection in the presence and power of God. I pause right now and I release thoughts of fear and trepidation. I release my anxiety and I stand in the truth that I am safe. I am safe. I use my faculty of judgment to know that all things are working for the good of everyone involved. Lack and limitation have no place in my life, and I know that I am safe here. I find protection in the presence and power of God in me. And so as we come forth from this time in the stillness and in the silence, we bring forth with us the truth. I am safe. I am safe in consciousness because I am one with the one. To bring forth that presence now to this time and this space where we are together, committed to serve and to be the presence of love. And so it is.
Oh, fill me with thy presence, God, to guide what power I wield, that it may ever strengthen good and be from ill a shield. Oh, fill me with thy presence, God, but need I longer wait? Thy presence hath been given me to live and radiate. Let's take a nice big breath, shall we? And as we prepare to receive Rev Todd's message, let us do this one. I'm gonna live so God can use me anywhere and anytime. And you know I love it when you sing along with me. I'm gonna live so God can use me anywhere, anywhere and anytime, anytime. I'm gonna live so God can use me anywhere and anytime. I'm gonna work so God can use me anywhere and anytime. I'm gonna work so God can use me anywhere and anytime. I'm gonna love so God can use me anywhere and anytime. I'm gonna love so God can use me anywhere and anytime. I'm gonna dance
Thank you, Deidrey. Happy Sunday, friends. And happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. This incredible holiday that, we here in the United States this week. We just talked that, Canada had it a couple weeks ago. But it's really more than just a holiday. Thanksgiving should be a way of life. It should be part of the core of our being, because we know that as we take time and focus on what we're grateful for, do you know what happens? We find more stuff to be grateful for. And the converse is true as well, right? Like if we focus on what's not right, that which we have judged to be wrong, we can find lots of stuff to be upset about. Has that ever happened to y'all? It happened to me one day this week. I don't, in the thousands of jobs I've had, I used to also do customer service training. And this is an interesting way, I see these threads that I pulled together, and sometimes they just don't reach, and you can't tie things together. But this idea of customer service has gotten in the way of understanding truly what service means. Because there's that, some people get carried away with this, it's that mantra that people had for a long time. The customer is always right. Well, that is not true. And and I was the customer this week that was not right. That happens, right? But now the thing is that I always thought that the customer should always be treated right. Treated right. And right was, what is that word, scuba, what is that word? Each letter means something different. Right, respected, indispensable, greeted, helped, and thanked. Taught that a lot, can you tell? And I did not feel like I was indispensable at that company. And I wasn't nice about it. But and you know what? In doing that, I wasn't being in service in the world. But customer service and what service really means don't have anything to do with each other. Because in customer service, we think that, we sometimes, unless you've been in a customer service rep position, you might still think that the customer is always right. No, the customer is not, because the customer rarely understands the parameters of which oftentimes frontline personnel are allowed to do things. But service, real, true service, is where you are doing what you are felt led to do from the place of love and wisdom within you, without any desire for something in return. Without any desire for something in return. Now, customer service is a desire that you will be a continued customer. So there's a desire there. But true service is about showing up and acting with love as the truth of who you are, without any expectation that something's going to be done for you. Because if you have an expectation, well, I did this for you, and I have an expectation of return, you're bargaining. But true service is where you're showing up to do what is the right thing to do without any attachments to outcome. That is a very expanded place to be in consciousness. And sometimes it's not always easy to be in that place where we don't have expectations of outcomes or returns. This is our journey to Capernaum. Our journey to Capernaum. Anybody remember Capernaum? You're like, oh, I've heard of it, maybe. I mean, it's like, oh, he's talking about the Bible again.
Bar the door.
Bar the door, don't let him out. Don't you disconnect because I'm talking about Scripture today. Capernaum means the inner conviction of the abiding, restoring power of being. As we are traveling to an inner conviction of the restoring power of life, love, wisdom, joy, everything, every good thing. And it's all good in consciousness. It's not always good here in the manifest world, but as we learn to live from the truth of who we are, and it is a journey that we're taking to Capernaum. Just as our way shower Jesus, he's walking to Capernaum with a bunch of people, and two of his disciples, they're questioning, well, when we get to the kingdom, who gets to sit next to you? I remember that? Who, right? Who's it going to be? And they came to Capernaum, and when he was in the house, he asked them, what were you reasoning on the way? What were y'all talking about? But they held their peace, for they had disputed one with another on the way. Who was the greatest? Who's the best? It reminds me of children on the playground. Who can kick the ball the furthest? Who's the fastest? Mr. Todd, time me. I'm going to run. Well, I'm going to run too. I'm going to see who's the fastest. This week when I was in San Antonio working a conference in a park, the park people came up and they're like, hey, would you like to shoot a bow and arrow? Yes, I would. And they did the whole, safety training. It was wonderful. And then they're like, so, there were 4 people shooting at one time, and they made a big effort of making us understand, even though we were all adults, but they normally do this for children. Your goal is to have a better score than your previous score. The goal is not to have a higher score than anyone else that is doing archery right now. Your goal is to improve yourself, improve your own score, improve your aim. Who is the greatest? The one who seeks to show up as love in service over and over and over again, not because you get to sit at the adult table at Thanksgiving, but because it's the right thing to do. So that this moment you can be love. That in this moment, in spite of the judgments that I am placing on the conversation at the table, I'm just here to love you. This message is purely for me this week, and if y'all get something from it, great. But our goal is to be better at showing up as love. Not worried about what the outcome might be. Not hoping that something will be different in the future. But just knowing in this moment, right here and right now, I can be love. And that is an act of service. To show up and love one another without any expectation, without any preconceived notion of what might happen next. And do we know what might happen next? We don't. We don't. No, I don't know if you've read cards or got a crystal ball or made up stories in your head. I do that, and I am a master at it. And so what I've been working on is not making up stories, not investing. I used to have the best arguments in the shower, and I would always win. You ever done that? Conversations that never had to happen. Boy, I was wasting my life energy. I was wasting my power of imagination by doing that. Instead, now what I do is I practice the presence. Like a duck. Water right off of the duck's back. All of this is going to happen, and I have to keep showing up and being love. Just being love. That sounds really simple, doesn't it? It sounds really simple. But learning how to do that requires persistence. It requires practicing the presence. It requires sitting in the stillness, even when it's difficult to do so. Maybe even more importantly, to sit in the stillness when it's challenging, when it's hard. So extending service is not about making this service longer. It's about seeing everything that we do as an opportunity to be in service. Giving up the ideas of what is going to be different because we showed up as love. Because us showing up as love, well, that should be the easiest thing we do because that's who we are. Is letting go of all the other stuff. Unraveling, clearing out that giant hairball that gets in the way of being love. Genuine service is the great spiritual builder. Genuine service. Genuine. Or as I said in my youth, genuine. Remember that genuine faux pearls? Oh, they're real fake pearls. So I didn't know French when I saw those commercials. Y'all don't remember that? The holiday times, he's getting ready to buy gifts, and they were all over the TV. You were in the southwestern Virginia at the time, I think. Genuine faux pearls. Genuine. Showing up as the truth of who we are. Showing up over and over and over to be love, even when we don't agree with everyone around us. Showing up to be love. Even when, all these emotions are present and we still have to have that feeling nature of gratitude. Being grateful that we can show up and be love in the world. Because I know that this will shock some of you to know this, but we are all sitting here probably thinking of someone that maybe pushes our buttons and makes it hard for us to be love. If you can think of someone like that in your life right now, guess what? You are that person for someone else. Did you know that? You are that person for someone else. That's a tough one to swallow. Because I think I'm amazing.
You are.
I am amazing. Y'all are too, but I only know I'm amazing because y'all are amazing. But we all get to be in genuine service and show up as love because we practice gratitude, because we're thankful. Yes?
Yes.
Genuine service. I have to tell you that I misread something online. Genuine service is the great spiritual builder. Charles Fillmore didn't say that. That was said by Cora Fillmore, his second wife. Great service is the great spiritual builder. When we can be in service, it is a spiritual accomplishment. It allows us to grow in consciousness and be the truth of who we are more and more and more. And here at Unity, being genuine and being the presence of love and being grateful. Well, it's not just enough to know that, is it? We have to what? We got to show up. We got to do what? What, Patty? Live the truth we know. And how do we live the truth we know? Well, you can pick a way. But lucky for you, I came up with a way. And so the people here in the building get one of these today. But you online, all you need is a piece of paper, an envelope, and a stamp. You don't even need a stamp. But I've got some cards. Aren't they beautiful autumn colors? Some of them are even embossed and say grateful or thank you and stuff like that. And so your assignment this week as you seek to be in gratitude is to thank someone. I don't know what you want to thank them for. I don't even know who it is. It might be somebody in this sanctuary. It might be somebody that you know online. It might be a complete stranger that smiles at you every time you go to the grocery store. I don't know who it is. I just know that we need to hear thank you more often. We need to be the action of gratitude. We need to hold open arms and be the presence of love in this world right now. And doing that changes everything. So do it in writing, do it with your words, do it to the people you know and that are easy to love, and do it to the people that you don't know. Do it to the people you know that are more difficult to love. Because genuine service is the great spiritual builder. And this is how we grow. And this is how we create a world that works for all. Thanks for letting me share today, friends. I love you.
Beautiful message, Rev Todd. Thank you so much. It reminded me of a song that Daniel Namod wrote a long time ago, probably, and it's called Last Song. So I wanted to share that as we share our gifts from our heart with each other. If this is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I want to say? If this is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I want to say? If this is my last song, if it is my time to go, when my body moves on, what will I have to show? Oh, but fortune and fame, they scatter to the wind, things that make a name just don't matter in the end. Is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we all do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm so grateful I came. If these are my last words for all the earth to hear, if all I've ever said and ever been is about to disappear, if these are my last words, there's nothing that I need to say. I've only ever tried to serve, and it's never been about talking anyway. There's so much hurt to bear, it's hard to understand. All I can hope to feel is that I'm doing all I can. Is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about all the good that we can still do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, I'm so glad, I'm so grateful I came. Have I given hope to the hopeless? Has a hungry soul been fed? Has a child stood a little bit taller because of something that I said? Have I left a little kindness? Have I eased a little pain? If so, I'm so glad I came. If so, I'm so grateful that I came. Then if so, I'm so grateful you came.